My father went on a group trip to Tanzania to do some medical work in a poor village. For a few nights on the trip, the group stayed in a hotel. My dad was sharing a room with another man from the group. Separate beds though. One night, he is woken up by his roommate who has the light on. He looks terrified, trembling, and praying. My dad asks what's wrong, but he won't say anything about it. My dad is obviously concerned, but since he can't do anything about it, he goes back to sleep. The next night, in the middle of the night, my father gets up to go pee. He walks to the bathroom and starts to relieve himself when he catches a very strong scent of body odor. He and most of the people from the group are daily deodorant wearers, being from the US. Many locals in Tanzania don't wear it as frequently, so when the smell hits his nose, he realizes that he and his roommate might not be alone. He turns around and sees, standing there in the doorway, a local woman, shaking, her eyes rolled up, locked on the ceiling. He panics, as no one should have been able to get into the room. He turns back around towards the bathroom in a moment of confusion, but when he turns back, she's just gone, as if she had never been there. He goes back to bed thinking maybe he was dreaming or seeing things. He lays back down on his side and adrenaline's starting to wear off. He begins to doze off again. Suddenly, the smell returns. He slowly rolls over and looks to his left. There, in the bed beside him, is the woman, lying flat on her back, eyes glued to the ceiling. Again, panicking, he breaks his line of sight to her, and again she is gone. My dad wasn't able to get back to sleep that night. The woman never made another appearance though. He asked his roommate about it the next morning, and he said that he had encountered the same thing the night before, which was why he was so shaken up. It could be explained by the fact that they were both on anti-malarial medicine which have side effects that include strange dreams, but still, super creepy, and definitely weird that even if it was caused by the medication, both my father and his roommate experienced the same thing. My girlfriend at the time and I stayed at a hotel in the heart of downtown Gettysburg. We had a nice, comfy, queen-size bed and finally passed out around 11 p.m. or so. A little after 3 a.m., I was woken up by my girlfriend who was clearly shaken. She kept telling me that there was something in our room and that she could see a shadow silhouetted against the darkness looming over the foot of our bed closet to the door. I didn't see anything, of course, so we drifted off back to sleep. About 30 minutes later, I woke up to the sound of shuffling feet inside our room. I turned the lights on right away to see nothing. At this point, we were both sitting up in the bed sort of freaked out when we heard the shuffling again, but this time outside our door. When we opened the door, there was nothing to be seen in the hallway. We spoke to the day shift clerk upon checkout, and when she asked how our night was, we relayed the story. Apparently, this is a common occurrence. She told us that many guests have said that they have seen a shadowy figure move about the halls and the rooms of the hotel. I was staying in Costa Rica last summer on vacation with my parents. On our way home, we pull up to the airport in San Jose and notice that there is ash flying all around. Then we'd go inside, only to find out that a nearby volcano had erupted and all flights were cancelled due to ash on the runways and in the engines of the plane. We had to stay at a hotel for the night, so we booked a room at a nearby hotel and stayed there. I was pretty anxious to get home. Being from Long Island, New York, I normally don't experience volcanic eruptions, so I was pretty worried and stressed. That night at this hotel, I was sleeping in my own bed next to my parents' bed. I woke up in the middle of the night, and I could not figure out why. I rolled over in my bed, looked in the direction of my parents, and saw some sort of terrifying ghost girl with long black hair over her face standing at the foot of my parents' bed, just watching. I completely froze, not knowing what would happen if I moved or made a single sound. I don't think I've ever felt so much confusion and terror as I watched the grudge-like figure watching my parents sleep. I couldn't move, I couldn't speak. But I knew it wasn't sleep paralysis because I had experienced them in the past, and it was a totally different feeling. This was pure terror. Eventually, I sat up and realized it was the illusion caused by the light on a coffee maker in the room shining on certain parts of the doorway and some shadows in convenient places. If I squinted my eyes, I could still see what I thought was the girl. I never felt so much relief in my life.